Have you ever taken a bus ride that doesn't take you to your destination, but steals your soul instead? If not, today's story will make you think twice before boarding a deserted bus at night. The sound of a bus on a dark road and faint rustling. This is the story of the last bus to Headless Town. The bus that only picks up those whose fate has something sinister written for them. Jack, a 28-year-old project manager, had come to a small town for work. Late at night, after finishing his tasks, he stood at the bus stop. The clock struck 11:45 p.m. The streets were silent, and only the flickering glow of a streetlight illuminated the area. Suddenly, Jack saw an old, rickety bus approaching from afar. A strange headache struck him, but he ignored it. The bus screeched to a halt, and the door opened. The driver looked at Jack. His eyes glowed unnaturally. But Jack didn't think much of it, and stepped onto the bus. There were 4 other passengers inside, all with their heads bowed, as if carrying an invisible weight. Driver, in a low voice. Last stop, Headless Town. The sound of the bus door closing. The bus started moving. Jack looked out of the window, but the scenery changed every few minutes. Sometimes they passed through an old alley, and other times it felt like they were traveling through a dark forest. Suddenly, the person sitting in front of Jack began to blur. Jack blinked, and when he looked again, the seat was empty. Jack, thinking, maybe it's just my imagination. But when he looked at the other passengers, their faces were also slowly fading away. A woman sitting at the back, in a faint voice. The bus won't stop until we reach Headless Town. Jack felt anxious. He approached the driver, but as soon as he looked at the driver's face, his heart sank. The driver had no head on his shoulders. Driver, in a deep voice. You can't go back now. The bus began to speed up. Jack tried to jump out, but the doors and windows locked themselves. Jack tried calling the police from his phone, but there was no signal. Suddenly, the bus filled with fog. The faces of the passengers gradually vanished. Jack looked at the brake lever and pulled it hard. The screeching sound of brakes as the bus halts abruptly. The bus jerked to a stop, and Jack tumbled onto the road. When he turned to look back, the bus had disappeared. In the silence, the sound of wind echoes. Jack sighed in relief, but when he looked at his hand, there was a burning mark on his palm. Headless Town. The next morning, Jack thought the whole incident was just a dream. But when he searched for Headless Town online, he found an old news article. It described a bus accident that happened on the same route 30 years ago. The bus driver and all passengers died, but the bus and their bodies were never found. At the bottom of the article, there was a comment. The bus will return every time someone stands at the stop at 11:45 p.m. So friends, the next time you wait alone for a bus in the dead of night, be careful. Who knows? The next last bus might be coming for you.
If you liked this story, please comment and like the video and subscribe to the channel.